Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Good to have you on board. Busy hour on tap in 15 minutes. Tonight's NBA card, bets that we like, bets that we're looking at. Paul Stone on college football games that he likes this weekend, coming up in 30 minutes. And the tip jar is open for the pizzeria a little bit later on as well. Right now, we begin talking a little NHL as we head out to the Progressive guest line as Jonathan Davis joins the program now. He is VSiN's NHL betting analyst. JD, good to talk to you again, my man. How are you today?
I'm doing great, guys. Always fun to be on.
All right, so let's get to the trend that everybody has been waiting for. It's up 50-plus units full season to date in the National Hockey League. The floor is yours. What is it?
So, if you just take a look at the month of November, and we're 17 days in, 42 of the 125 November games have gone to overtime. Just those alone, you're up 53.9 units. Not so bad.
Well, do you have an explanation for why this is happening? How about like Friday? Every game went to overtime.
I think really condensed schedule. Teams are just trying to accumulate points. The game that you've got so many young stars in the game that, what 2-goal lead means nothing. Look at Columbus last night. 2-goal lead on Montreal in the third period. Canadians rally, get the game tied. Anaheim, 4 seconds to go last night. Tie the game up. There's just so many young stars that the league is far more talented than it's ever been, and no lead is safe anymore.
Okay, so then what about for the person right now, either watching or listening, saying to themselves, oh my God, I had no idea. I want to hop in on this. Would you advise that? Like, is this going to continue, in your opinion?
I don't see any reason for it to stop. And, if you look, let's even take a look. Look, I'm going across the board. Every game I play to overtime. Mm-hmm. But if you want to take a look at some spots tonight, Seattle, Detroit, they've met 8 times since Seattle came into the league. 5 of those have gone to overtime. New Jersey, Tampa, the Devils have played 5 consecutive overtime games. 3 of their last 9 between the two, overtime. Islanders, 3 of their last 4 have gone to overtime. 3 of their last 5 with Dallas have gone to overtime. San Jose, their last 2 home games have gone to overtime. Utah, who they're playing tonight, back-to-back overtime games. So, look, there are a lot of games. The 8 games tonight, you've got about 5 of them that do have trends that would continue to steer you in that same direction.
I will tell you this. This goes back many, many years when Pauly and I were doing mornings here on the network. And there was it Rich in Canada? I think I want to give a shout out to him right now. Some of the first emails that he would ever send the show is that his plan of attack for the playoffs every single year in the NHL was to bet every first round game to go to overtime. And he said, like clockwork, you're going to clean house and you're going to make a ton of units. There was 1 year, I think, since we've been on the air that it was a loser. Every other year has won. So that's, something that it's a betting angle that never really considered, but maybe it's closer to like playoff hockey in the regular season than it's ever been before.
Well, again, yeah. I mean, because like I said, the schedule's condensed. You're having more teams that are playing back-to-backs and 3 games in 4 nights. I think, guys, you have more fatigue. You're also seeing more injuries. And I think, look, especially when you've got a game that's got, an interconference matchup where you're not concerned about giving away a point for a playoff position, you'll let those games. You're more inclined to let that game just go to overtime.
You're great with the trends. Read his article every day, VSiN.com. Vancouver 10 straight overs, and what you're talking about with the ties. How about this game tonight with the Maple Leafs? How about all these first period overs, and how about all the games that have been going over? You're involved with a couple totals here. How about the Toronto game against St. Louis?
Yeah, I mean, look, we had the Toronto full game over streak come to an end on Saturday, sadly, at 13. But I look, if they don't go over tonight, then I'll back off. But I'll stay with the full game over. In the Blues case, 4 straight overs in the first period, 10 of 13. Toronto's on an 8 of 9, 10 of 12 run to the first period over. I like that. And I'm going to throw out a little fun parlay that I don't have in the column today. Both Nick Robertson of the Maple Leafs, who plays playing on the top line tonight because of some injuries with the Maple Leafs, and Jason Robertson, his brother, are in Dallas, who's got 6 goals in his last 3 games. They are both in action tonight. A 2-goal parlay, or goal each guy to score a goal tonight. 10-1 on your money.
Very good.
Here's another angle too, and we talk about this a lot during the primetime games in the NFL. The first touchdown scorer market has become super popular. Ryan Kramer here at the network and the Sports Gambling Podcast, he's been great the entire year cashing these bets, long shot bets. Are you finding something similar here in the NHL?
100%. Mika Zibanejad tonight, New York Rangers. Zibanejad is on a run. 2 of the last 3, 3 of the last 4, 6 times this year, Zibanejad has scored the first Rangers goal. So, I'm not going to get greedy and go for the first goal of the game, but like a site like FanDuel does offer, first goal by the home team or the away team. So, I was on Zibanejad on Sunday. He cashed. I'll be on him again tonight. I mean, if you played Zibanejad every game this year to score the first goal, you'd be up 28 units.
Okay.
Good. You also like the first period over in that game as well. How about the spot here for Winnipeg? Back at home after a 6-game road trip taken on Columbus.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's a really bad spot for Columbus. It's back-to-back, 3 games in 4 nights. They got to take they took a 2.5-hour flight from Columbus to Winnipeg. They got, you also have the added inconvenience of them having to clear Canadian customs. It's not like it's a long process with the charter planes, but it's still one thing that adds to it. You're not getting into your hotel room till about 2, 3 in the morning. Yes, they're going to face Eric Comrie and not Connor Hellebuck, but Comrie's had a good year. He's 3-1 against the Jackets. I think there's a really good spot for the Jets. I don't want to play them on the money line. So what I'm doing with the Jets tonight is I'm going to take them on the money line, but I'm going to parlay them with the Calgary team total under 3.5. The Flames have played 20 games this year, guys. They've reached 4 goals 3 times, and one of those, it took a shootout. Now, from a betting standpoint, those goals count, but still, 3 times in 20 games. This way, I get the Jets money line, Calgary team total over 3.5. I get that at a plus price. One thing I do want to go back to one other player first goal, Emil Heineman of the New York Islanders. Not only has he scored in goals in 3 straight games, he has scored the first goal of the game in 3 straight. I'm going to just take him for the first Islanders goal tonight in Dallas.
Okay. Have you found anything with power play points to bet on throughout the year that you like?
I do. A lot of times what I'll try to target is a team, look, Dallas has got the number 1 power play at home. They're clicking at 42%. It's insane. But the books have caught up. And so what I'll try to do is I'll take a look at the charts, see who's playing number 1, even the number 2 power play. And if we can find, we had a situation with a member of the Philadelphia Flyers, their defenseman Cam York was plus 600 for a power play point. Everybody else on the power play was around plus 200. So I grabbed Cam York. He does get a power play point. So you need to find, there is value out there. It's not as great, but there is value out there.
Yeah, and by the way, back to the Columbus-Winnipeg game for 1 second here. I found this. This was Scott Seidenberg, VSiN host. Does a great job with his website, betterday.com. How about this trend? So it is the back-to-back like you talked about with Columbus. Since the beginning of the 2021 season, road teams on a back-to-back in Winnipeg are 7-22 straight up.
Yeah, well, there's not a lot. Yeah, I mean, Winnipeg, especially wintertime, they call it Winterpeg for a reason, guys.
Right.
I was there in August for my buddy's wedding. Hailstones the size of golf balls hitting my window.
Tough spot to play. They've been really good, and it makes it that much more difficult when it's a back-to-back. Good point by you. Clearing customs, 2.5-hour flight at least to get there. It's a But like Pauly said, though, this is a Malinsky special for Winnipeg.
Yeah.
It is. It is. I just look, you went to overtime last night. Now you got to travel. It's just as bad a spot, I think, for Columbus as it. And I don't think at least you've got a team that Winnipeg that's been at home in bed. I think it's a really good spot. I'll take my chances with the Jets. But if you don't like the Jets, I still think the Calgary side of that parlay is great. Find a different team or prop to match it with, because I think that one to me is super strong.
Home game tonight for the Golden Knights. Is there anything there with that trend that was so hot to begin the year, either goal in the first 10 or a first period play as well?
Yeah, I still like the first period over there, over 1.5. I mean, Vegas has been really good at cashing that. The Rangers have been a pretty good over team on the road in the first period. So I'm still going with that one. And then again, like I said, my favorite play, well, that's 1A is that's Zibanejad, at least the anytime goal. He's got 10 goals, I think, in 14 games against the Rangers. And that's one other thing, guys. You guys do a great job. You're always talking about pitcher-hitter matchups. Zibanejad's numbers against Vegas are really good. Brandon Hagel for Tampa, 10 goals in 14 games against the Devils. There's another guy for an anytime goal prop tonight.
Very good. You can follow JD on X. He's at West Coast HKY. Read him throughout the entire year, breaking down NHL analysis there with best bets at VSiN.com. Jonathan, thank you, my friend. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, guys. I'll be tweeting all night live tonight. Lots of action.
Yeah, there you go.
Good
Very
job
good on
with the
Twitter
ties.
as well.
Great job with the ties.
Yeah.
Also from our guy Ian Duncan, goal in the first 10 at home. Pittsburgh 8-0, Utah 7-0, Carolina 8-1. Goal in the first 10 on the road. Ottawa 8-0, Seattle 7-1.
Very nice.
A lot going on with the hockey.
Yeah. It is super frustrating when you have a first period bet to go over and they get one like in the first couple of minutes and then that's all she wrote.
Happened in the Islander-Colorado game the other night.
All right, NBA coming up next. I will give you something that'll make you say, get the hell out of here. No way that's true. But oh yes, it is true. Very, very true. And it's bad news for every team in the league but one. That's next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Well, here's a little bit of news in the NBA. Giannis Antetokounmpo left the Bucks game last night after 13 minutes, groin. And moments ago, it was reported that he is probably going to be out 2 weeks. No bueno. That definitely changes how I'm going to approach betting Derry Bird 3-point props. Because Giannis is such a big factor in, first of all, facilitating, getting other guys open. And I have bet Derry Bird this year when Giannis did not play, and it was a loser. So that definitely impacts that. Green did go over last night, even though Giannis got hurt in that game. All right, so let me give you this, Pauly. I will quickly recap. You asked me last week, worst trade in NBA history. This one's in the discussion. To revisit the Clippers and Thunder deal from a handful of years ago, the Clippers, of course, got Paul George. In return, OKC got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari, 2021 first-round pick, which they used on Trey Mann, 2022 first-round pick, they selected Jalen Williams. In 2024, the first-round pick, they took Dylan Jones. Last year, the first-round pick went to Miami. There's a pick swap last year as well. And in 2026, the Oklahoma City Thunder get the LA Clippers first-round pick. The Clippers are currently 4-10.
Yes.
They are tied with Memphis and Charlotte and would be picking in the 7-9 range if the ping pong balls fell in order. So that goes to Oklahoma City. And for what it's worth, this draft is so loaded that NBA talent evaluators have recently said that Cooper Flagg would go like 6th in the draft.
Well, that is asinine.
Probably.
I think that was also Kevin O'Connor. That's ridiculous.
But that's.
But come on.
Yeah, but that tells you if the draft is that good, in theory, they're probably going to get one of those guys.
Yep. And I know it was Ramona Shelburne from ESPN the other day who asked the question, is it too early to be talking about this? No, it's not. After another loss and no end in sight and how bad they are defensively.
Yeah.
To think about, this is the best team in the league. They can repeat. Most people think they're better than they were last year.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, and they might could get a top 5 pick. And the picks, it won't end. It won't end because of this trade.
I know.
How bad it is.
Who would they even take at this point?
SGA for Paul George's highway robbery.
Of course, yes. And by the way, that's not. We called that the day after the trade happened on the show.
Man.
So do they? Imagine they get like Boozer from Duke. Imagine they get Bucket Jones from Kansas.
Right, Bucket Jones.
Whatever. I mean, it doesn't.
You can also argue the whole thing was one of the worst moves in NBA history because this is coming from Kawhi Leonard. When Kawhi said, I'll join you if you get Paul George, and then the aspiration thing. And we're still waiting for a penalty with that. And they gave all that money they gave that guy, and he's never healthy. And they have, 2 playoff series wins to show for it? Or whatever it is. So it's unmitigated disaster.
All right, LeBron is supposed to make his debut tonight, right? The Lakers against the Jazz. I saw his prop was posted last night right away at 16.5. Feels like kind of a high number. Don't know how much time he's going to be playing in the game tonight.
Yeah, conditioning to be a problem. How hard are you going to go? You also should have an easy time of it against Utah. Luka and Reeves should go off. But this is tough now, right? Where, yes, he's the second greatest player of all time, but it's you got to fit in now. I mean, this has been up to a great start, how well the offense is playing, and now going back to you fit in, what your role is going to be, and how many shots you're going to take away from Luka and how this is going to look like. So it'll take some time. You
rank him Nikola Jokic 1, LeBron James 2? Is that your current pecking order?
Up at all time?
Yeah, all time.
I go MJ 1. But
okay, so Utah can be a little feisty, man. Like, Markkanen is awesome. He's averaging 30.5 points per game on the year, 3.8 made threes. Here's the deal. He's shooting the ball almost 22 times a game. So he has a green light every second that he's on the court. I'd look at him, but his numbers, his 3-point prop is actually 3.5 over his plus money. It's tempting.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at a lot of things on the board tonight. The Suns are playing at the Blazers. Suns, sneaky good. I did not anticipate this.
Yep.
But Denny Avdia's last 7 games, 29 points per game, 49% from the floor, and almost 3 points, 3 3-pointers per game as well.
The hell of a player.
He's really good. Now, I was looking at him, and I was looking at Shaedon Sharpe, but this is how quickly books can adjust. Not that long ago, Shaedon Sharpe was around 19.5, 20.5 points for his prop. Well, his last 4 games, he's averaging more than 30 points. His average game is 11 of 21 from the floor, 6.5 3-point attempts, and he's getting to the line 8.3 times trips per game. His prop is at 25.5 in this game now tonight. That's how quick. I mean, it's just you pop for 30 points 3 times in 4 games, and you can kiss 19.5 goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of like that matchup tonight. I did lay the 5.5 with the Spurs. There's no Ja Morant.
Yeah.
I think the Memphis are going to just downward spiral here potentially, and the Spurs did beat Sacramento recently by 13 points, and they did not have Wemby in that game. So I laid the 5.5 earlier today.
There was a trend on this. Let me find it. Mackinnon's got it today. It's Boston. What Boston's doing against the Nets. 8-1-1 ATS last 10 against the Nets. 10-0 straight up. And Utah Lakers, 10 of the last 12 have gone over. And that's 238.5.
Yeah.
Road team 7-0 ATS last 7 Pistons Hawks series. That's a Malinsky special, Atlanta back home.
Let me give you this. Duncan Robinson, man, I missed this one. He would have been another AJ Green type. In November, 4.8 made threes per game on 10.3 attempts. That's the kind of stuff that you have to love. In order, 4, 5, 8, 5, 5, 3, 3, 4, and 6 made threes. 3.5 was plus money earlier today, but it's a back-to-back, and that's always a little bit tricky. But Jalen Duren for the Pistons now, he is the short shot to win the most improved player. His last 5 games, the guy has been Shaquille O'Neal. 31-15, 19-14, 21-16, 30-11, 22-22. His points and rebounds prop tonight is 32.5. I tend to stay away from that kind of thing when it's a back-to-back, though.
Well, he's been great. And those, I know Zach Cohen made the case for the over today. So much stuff up at VSiN.com. It's incredible. Day in, day out, all the articles, every sport, all the stuff that they have. And he was making the case as well. So hoping the Pistons can keep this going. And the other thing is what we want to do with these Celtic props as well, as it's always bombs away with what they're doing with White and Pritchard. Remember, it was nothing but unders for these guys the first 10 games. Threes, PRA, almost everything. And then Pritchard went off the other day, and still you have to respect White's game and how many shots they're going to take, though, every single game.
I'll get the numbers here in a second. And here's another reason why you want to continue riding this. Peyton Pritchard, your point, Pauly, he made 8 against the Clippers, and he had 5 the game before against Memphis. So that is now 13 made threes his last 2 games. His prop's 2.5. And It's juiced, though, like minus 145, minus 150. Opposing teams are making 39+% of their threes against the Nets. That is the third highest clip against any team in the entire league. And they do love to go bombs away. I'm looking at Anthony Simons over 2.5 is plus 140, maybe even a little bit higher at FanDuel. Pritchard, the number has remained the same. Derek White's 3.5 over is plus 145 in that spot. I'd maybe look at some fringe guys for the Celtics. If they blow them out of the water, and guys who you might expect to get a little bit more run than normal here in this game.
You briefly mentioned this yesterday, but did you take Chet Defensive Player of the Year?
No, he's the one guy that I stayed away from.
Okay. Why such a big move, though, if it's just a calf strain and Wemby's out a couple weeks? He was as high as $253. He is now 4-1. Chet's plus 150.
All right, so JVT and I talked a lot about this today when we recorded the latest Pod of the Futures, which is going to be available here sometime soon today. And we came to the conclusion that you can't bet Wemby awards.
Injuries?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the fact that he's got to play 65 games every single year, and I don't know that he's going to get to that threshold.
Who'd you land on?
I bet Kaysen Wallace at 300 and 500 to 1.
Okay.
I took some Hartenstein at 450 to 1. I took some SGA at like 250 to 1. Those are the guys, because their defensive numbers are by far and away the best in the entire sport.
We ran it down yesterday. It's staggering.
Right.
Yeah.
But I will actually say this. I'm happy that two different sports books only took like $50 bets on them. They would not. I tried to get down, but I also was like, okay, thank you, because now I'm not going to get irate if I have like $1,000 on these guys to win it and they deserve it and they don't get the award. So it's a smaller bet. I mean, at those odds, it'd still be a nice payday. I'm not going to fight it. But there's also, the Pistons are the second best team defensively in the league.
Efficiency?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, not bad.
Stuart Thompson is like 30 or 40 to 1. I don't know if he can win it, but JVT brought up Gobert. The reason why is because the on-off numbers are incredible this year for him.
Okay. Duran's also the favorite most improved.
Yep.
Get ready, Las Vegas. Neon City Music Festival's here. Free all-ages celebration, music, food, art. Good Charlotte, Dead Mouse, Breaking Benjamin. All free. Fun starts Friday, runs through Sunday. Experience you don't want to miss. Book your stay downtown. Circle Las Vegas. Details, neoncityfestival.com, neoncityfestival.com.
We'll get some best bets in college football coming up with Paul Stone. He'll join the program, and we'll ask him if he thinks this mess with Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin could be a big distraction next week.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Time to get some best bets in the world of college football. Longtime friend of the show, Pro Sports Bettor Paul Stone, joins the program now, and he is on the Progressive guest line. Paul, good afternoon. Good to talk to you again. How are you, pal?
Doing well. Good to be with you guys. Week 13, man, I tell you, it seems like just yesterday we were starting the season, and now we're coming down the home stretch.
And you're not kidding. It's almost over with. Brings a tear to my eye every single year when the regular season goes bye-bye. Let's start with this. I'm looking at the odds screen right now. A couple of different books have a look-ahead line posted on Ole Miss playing at Miss State next week in the Egg Bowl. FanDuel has 9.5. ESPN Bet and others have 11.5 on the game. How distracted do you think that the players are going to be around Lane Kiffin, even though he poo-pooed the ultimatum today, enough to maybe grab the 11? That seems like a high number there, Paul.
Absolutely. I think it's a high number. I mean, Mississippi State has really been competitive, especially at home. And, Lord knows what could happen between now and 10 days from now. He might not even be on the sideline for all we know, the way this thing's trending. So, I would take that number today if you have access to it, if you want to take the home dog Mississippi State Bulldogs, because I think it's going to get lower. I think it'll certainly be closer to a touchdown come kickoff, but a lot could transpire again in the next 10 days.
There's a real chance you think this team could make the playoff and Lane Kiffin would not be there coaching them.
Absolutely. I mean, we've heard the ultimatum talk that Lane Kiffin denied today on ESPN that he's been given an ultimatum by Ole Miss's administration. I was talking to a well-placed LSU source earlier this week, and I asked him, hey, man, put a percentage between the three schools in the running for Lane Kiffin, one of those being where he is right now, Ole Miss, and then LSU in Florida. And this person who knows his way around the SEC, said LSU 45%, Florida 44%, Ole Miss 11%. Said that LSU is going to put together a better financial offer, perhaps in his opinion, but that the Kiffin's connections to the University of Florida, especially those of his ex-wife Layla, cannot be underestimated. For those of our listeners and viewers who know University of Florida football history, Layla's father, John Reeves, was a big-time quarterback there at the University of Florida back in the day, John Reeves. So a lot of connections with Kiffin's ex-wife and their children, in-laws, that sort of thing. So it's going to go to the wire. It's going to be interesting to see how these next 10 days, 2 weeks indeed transpire.
All right, to the games this weekend here. Pittsburgh is playing at Georgia Tech. The Ramblin' Wreck below a field goal here, and you like them. Tell us why.
You know, the Ramblin' Wreck came out of the gate at 8-0. The last 2 games, certainly they hadn't played up to their standard. Lost at North Carolina State, coming off another subpar performance this past weekend. They enter their game at Boston College in Chestnut Hill, trailing by 11. They rally for a 36-34 victory over Boston College. Meanwhile, Pitt, they fell behind early, never really in the game at home to Notre Dame, eventually lose that game 37-15. But both these schools remain in the ACC race and of course, the college football race as well. Looking at the conference standings, Georgia Tech and Virginia at 6-1 atop the standings, and then Pitt and SMU just a half game back at 5-1. So it's really, really jumbled there at the top of the ACC. Looking at this number, I mean, with Georgia Tech only favored by 2.5 points, in my opinion, this infers that Pitt would be a 1.5 point favorite on a neutral field. And I don't see that. I mean, both these teams definitely have their warts and blemishes, so to speak, but I like the Rambling Wreck a little bit better. They've got a veteran quarterback in Haynes King. Pitt has a true freshman quarterback, a good one, but still a true freshman playing on the road. I love Georgia Tech's head coach, Brent Key. Key's a guy who, since coming to Georgia Tech, or since taking over, rather, as interim coach there early in the 2022 season, he's 26-18 against the spread. For those keeping score at home, that's 59%. So that's pretty good. He has exceeded market expectations. Haynes King, I mean, this is just a throwback, tough guy quarterback, leads the Rambling Wreck both in passing and rushing. He's known for 2,259 yards, rushed for another 807 yards, accounted or played a role in 24 of their touchdowns. And I think equally as important, he's only turned the ball over 4 times this year, 2 interceptions, 2 lost fumbles, and he handles the ball obviously a lot. He has protected the football. 3 games this season that Georgia Tech has played has featured a closing line of 4 points or fewer. Whether they're the favorite or the underdog, they're 3-0 to the spread in those games. I think King and company get it done. I think they beat Pitt by a field goal or more Saturday in Atlanta.
Okay, 2 more. This is fascinating. You had the Dream Crusher scenario. You bet East Carolina to take out Memphis last week, and they did. Now they're laying 2.5 against UTSA. UTSA at home pounded Tulane. You want to oppose East Carolina now?
Yeah, I really, Pauly, I like the way that this game sets up for Texas San Antonio. You know, first of all, East Carolina, they earned that hotly contested 31-27 victory over Memphis last Saturday. There in Greenville, North Carolina, scored the game-winning touchdown with 68 seconds to go. So a hard-fought game. They come out with the victory. Meanwhile, UTSA, they only led 7-0 at halftime at Charlotte, kind of coasted in second half, end up beating the 49ers 28-7. You know, we sometimes on this show and other VSiN programs as well, we'll talk about college football teams with a home-road dichotomy. And I think the dichotomy of Texas San Antonio might not be exceeded by anyone in the college game. First of all, looking at straight-up records over the last 2 seasons, so beginning at the start of the 2024 season, UTSA, they are 9-1 at home in the Alamo Dome. They are 2-10 straight up on the road. So 9-1 straight up at home, 2-10 on the road. We look at the point spread records, 8-2 against the spread at home the last 2 seasons, 3-9 against the spread away from the Alamo Dome. Some of that is accounted for by the quality of opposition. They have played some better teams on the road. but there's something to it. That's certainly not all of it. And their quarterback, Owen McCowan, the son of former NFL quarterback Josh McCown, he has really been good at home, especially in his last 3 home games. You look at those last 3 home games against Incarnate Word, Rice, and then a few Thursdays ago against Tulane. In those last 3 home games, McCowan, 76 of 90 completions, so 84% for 849 yards. And you probably remember, I know you do remember that home game performance a couple of Thursdays ago against Tulane. He hardly missed. He was 31 of 33, 370 yards against the Green Wave, 4 touchdowns against 0 interceptions. It's been home sweet home indeed for the Roadrunners the last couple of years. Jeff Traylor, the head coach, since taking over prior to the 2020 season, 7-1 against the spread when cast as a home underdog at the Alamo Dome. I think he goes to 8-1 against the spread. UTSA wins outright Saturday in San Antonio over East Carolina.
All right, bring it home. How about a total? Michigan, Maryland, 46.5 currently. What do you think?
When you're playing an under, and I'm going to recommend an under 45.5 in a college football game, you really can't have a whole lot of shenanigans. The kicking game and defensive touchdowns and all that malarkey can't be part of this handicap. So we'll root for none of that stuff to happen because, unders can go to heck in a handbasket awfully quickly in college football. But, Maryland, first of all, they're a team that outside of their true freshman phenom quarterback, Malik Washington, they really don't have a whole lot of offensive weaponry. I mean, their leading rusher, he has 409 yards through 10 games, averages 3.7 yards per carry. They've got 5 receivers who had 32 catches or more, but none of them are really vertical type threats who drag an extra defender with them and open things up underneath and those sort of things. So they're just not really prolific on offense. On Saturday, Maryland currently a 13.5-point home underdog with a total pretty much universally of 45.5. And it's the total, again, that I'm looking at here. Not that it would guarantee an under, but as part of my handicap, I'm banking on Maryland to score 14 points or fewer. Looking at some of the numbers here, first of all, they're going up against a typically strong Michigan defense. We wouldn't expect anything less. They're ranked in the top 15 this season, scoring defense, total defense, and yards per play allowed on defense. Maryland, meanwhile, they rank 104th in scoring offense, 99th in total offense, and they have been particularly flat on offense in the last 4 games. They have averaged only 13.3 points per game during their last 4 games against the likes of UCLA, Indiana, Rutgers, and Illinois. Looking at Michigan's offense, this is part of the handicap as well. They could end up starting a 3rd-string walk-on at tailback. One of their top tailbacks, Justice Haynes, he's out the last 2 regular season games. His co-starter, Jordan Marshall, he's got a bum shoulder. They would like to rest him until the Ohio State game. So they might start a 3rd-string tailback who's a walk-on. Bryce Underwood, not exactly dynamic on the road, only completed 55% of his throws on the road this season. Chance of rain. Teams play slow. I like Michigan and Maryland to go under 45.5 Saturday in College Park.
Excellent. Paul, thank you. Best of luck this week.
Hey, good luck to you guys. Appreciate you having me on. Have a great week.
Back at you. Tip jar is open. A 140-1 shot that cash. Details next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Do you like the service at Mitch and Pauly's?
I don't tip. You don't tip? No, I don't believe in it.
Leave us a tip on your way out.
You don't tip. You don't tip. What do you mean you don't tip? You don't believe in it.
The guys crack open the jar and see what the listeners have left behind.
So what, no TV now?
It's time for the tip jar at Mitch and Pauly's Pizzeria.
Yeah, Mr. Pink. Love it. Every Tuesday during the football season. Mitch and Pauly's Pizzeria Tip Jar, sponsored by Mama's Pizza. Mama's Pizza, the only place where your pizza money gets you a win. Check them out, mamaspizzas.net or Mama's Pizza on Instagram. Great photos and dynamite pizza. Let's start with a bang. Lee in Canada, he did it. Blue Jays win the American League East. Saskatchewan wins the Grey Cup, 140-1. Unbelievable. Great job, Lee.
Now, that is something that he sent in during the summertime, and we brought up on the air multiple times. And we were like, I don't know. Don't follow the CFL.
That's right. Finally, I saw
But that-
Berman put the highlights on last night at
Right,
halftime.
right.
Of course, they got it done.
That's great, Lee, man.
That's
Good job.
unbelievable. Oh, it's great. Now he's got a new one. Indiana wins it all. Pistons and Ducks win their division. They're both in first place, 155-1. Not bad. Stranger things have happened.
Well,
Also
by far and away, the most difficult one there is going to be Indiana. And they're awesome.
Placed in June by Russell in North Carolina. Denver Rams Super Bowl, 150-1. Oh, might get both 1 seats.
That's just to get there.
Yeah,
Okay.
good job.
Oh, Russell, my man.
Yeah. Haas in New Orleans. Cavs Eastern Conference. OKC West. Canada gold medal. Purdue in college basketball. VGK reaches the Stanley Cup final. 1,000-1.
A lot of legs. How would you grade?
Good win, Purdue.
That's
That's tough.
a lot of good teams in college basketball.
Vegas is always in the mix.
Yeah, they're always in the mix. Colorado's a
That's-
machine, but
Yeah. A lot going on there. Let's see how the NBA goes. Bryan in Massachusetts, a BYU special. They reach the semis in college football. They make the Final Four in hoops, 125-1. Well, a little disappointed with how they've started in hoops, but a hell of a comeback against UConn.
I was going to say, I don't think I brought it up on the air yesterday. I watched a lot of that game on Saturday night. UConn, they were burying BYU from the jump, and it carried over. And then BYU said, okay, we're not going away that fast. And they ramped it up a couple of notches, and they almost won the game. Like, that stretch that BYU played was phenomenal in the second half the other night.
Sal in New York, 2 already in. Anytime touchdown Jordan Mason, anytime touchdown CeeDee Lamb. OKC wins the West. Purdue makes the Final Four, 25-1.
Oh, Sal's cooking right there.
Not bad. Excellent. Tim, Patriots to win the Super Bowl, 80-1. If I get the 1 seed, I can maneuver, he says. Yes, you can.
What are they? I don't even know. Like, have it memorized. What are they right now? Any idea? Like, are they 25-1 or something like that? We'll get that number, but he bet that a while ago.
The real Mr. ACL on X always has a bunch of these. Gives a lot of them out for gifts. Ohio State repeats, Rams Super Bowl, Pistons Eastern Conference, 258-1.
Okay,
Definitely a path for the Pistons.
sure. And I believe Luke just said 18-1 on the Patriots to win the Super Bowl right now.
All right. John, November 16th. A&M wins it all. Eagles win the NFC. Thunder repeat, 100-1. Oh, that's not crazy at all.
Might have an undefeated team from the SEC.
That's right. Although they got a lot of things to fix and clean up, though.
Yeah, true.
Down 30-3 at home. Come on. Danny works here. One of the producers. Dodgers World Series in. Alabama wins it all. Ravens make the playoffs, 25-1.
Ravens only to make the playoffs.
Just to make, yeah. Sitting pretty now.
Yeah, he must have been losing his mind watching Alabama lose to Oklahoma over the weekend.
Yeah, it was a tough loss.
Yep.
But win the Iron Bowl, you'll be okay.
Sure.
Bill in New York, FanDuel. Bills, Ravens, Eagles, and Rams make conference title games. 188-1.
Okay, so then we're talking about a Buffalo-Baltimore AFC title game, Philadelphia and the Rams, just to get there.
I don't.
Well, you got to see the path first because
Yeah.
if they meet early on, then obviously that's not going to happen. But get ahead of it right now.
You could get Ravens Bills first round.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the NFC one. Kyle on X. This is creative. I like it. We've talked about this several times today. Notre Dame misses 11-1. Again, the Miami stuff is really picking up steam. Packers, I think it was Packers to make, or miss, rather. Packers to miss. Gonzaga wins the West Coast. OKC repeats 192-1.
Well, okay, so yeah, you're high in Notre Dame missing the playoff. I think there's absolutely a path where the Packers, boy, if they lost the game to the Giants, I'm telling you, they were going to miss at that point.
Yeah.
Gonzaga's loaded. Let me double check. I think Ken Pom has him number 1 in the country right now per his numbers.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, they are number 1. They're ahead of Duke.
That's going to win.
Yep.
Okay, feel good there. OKC, you feel good. Packers can miss the playoffs. And the Notre Dame, it's going to be hard to say, hey, I beat USC at home. And I lost my 2 most important games.
Well, they are absolutely massive Trojan fans this weekend.
Mike, today. Jonathan Taylor, Offensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year. Rams win the NFC. Buckeyes repeat. OKC wins the West. 44-1.
Does it say there when he made the bet? Because
Today.
Oh, that one is today.
Yeah, that's today. I like it.
Oh, that's very good.
You have to love Garrett, too. Just a wrecking machine.
You know what I'm going to do?
Unblockable.
I'm going to make that bet, but I'm going to put in the Eagles as a partial hedge to my Rams Super Bowl ticket.
Okay, I like it. Jerry in Florida. Buckeyes repeat. Florida repeats. Avalanche win the Cup. 324-1.
Look, I'm here for everything Colorado Avalanche related, Oklahoma City in basketball, and Ohio State in college football. I'm here for all of it.
Yeah. I did Old Miss today to miss 11-1. And the one you put together last week was good. Colorado wins the West. Buckeyes repeat. OKC West 25-1. 25-1. Good. Took a bad beat last night. Mama's Pizza has your back. They've won so many Best Pizza Awards, they stopped counting. Mama's delivers the crust that beats the spread every time. Oh, it's so good. The garlic butter on the crust. Pound of mozzarella on every large pie. Try the Wicked Pig. When I was there, I had the meat lovers, the pepperoni, the chicken and bacon with garlic. Oh, it's phenomenal. If you're thinking long-term value, franchise opportunities available, check them out, mamaspizzas.net. And for franchise opportunities, be your own boss. 817-870-2571. Let's get this up to 20 locations. 817-870-2571.
We ordered pizza over the weekend. Unfortunately for us, Mom is not in Las Vegas yet. Maybe sometime soon. But we ordered pizza over the weekend. And I tell you, one of my favorite go-to moves, like in recent years, is if the place has good sauce. And I think I've brought this up before. Mm-hmm. I love ordering pizza with extra sauce. It's one of my go-to moves. Because a lot of times with the pizza, like when I was younger, I was all about load that bad boy up. Make it a supreme. I want peppers. I want sausage. I want mushrooms. I want pepperoni, whatever. Now, as I get older, I just like, if the cheese and the sauce are good, man, I think I'm okay. And then if you want to sprinkle in like some sausage maybe or something like that, oh man, because a pizza with good cheese and good sauce, I'll come back to you every single time.
You like to sprinkle the infield too? Like Mama's has great wings.
Oh, 100%.
DeMarco's has great cheese bread and also phenomenal meatballs. I mean,
right,
you can just load that plate up, make it like Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Dom DeMarco's, when they come in sponsoring the primetime show, they bring their meatballs in. Those are damn good meatballs, man.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I was surprised. No one has sent any San Diego State or any Southern Miss. The San Diego State, not that big of a surprise, I guess, because they were such a long shot and they got off to a slow start. But Paul Stone gave out Southern Miss on the show.
No, he did.
They were like 20-1. I know Ozzy's got him as a result of that. And other people, I thought, Brad Powers said he's kicking himself for not having them. But Southern Miss likely to play in the championship game. They'll be big dogs against James Madison. But Paul gave that out, and the win total already went over.
That's right.
It was a great call in the summer by Paul.
I'll give you another one. We know a bettor who's been on this show several times who has humongous numbers on Texas Tech.
How about Brad getting just to win the conference 12-1?
12-1 back in January,
Man.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that stuff like the transfer portal rate, like again, if you do this stuff and pay attention, like coming up in a month and a half when the portal is all done and you follow it and you know which teams are going to be loaded and you find like a 12-1 on a team like that from a conference like the Big 12, got to bet it. Yeah.
Well, I know, but that also history played a role into that though for me. Where it's like I know you spent a lot of money, but every year they have a bad defense. I mean, remember, go back to even the Mahomes days. But what they've done to hold BYU to 7, UCF to 9, just pummeled Utah on the road.
Yeah,
34-10. Went to Houston and buried them, 35-11. No problems at Kansas State. Oh,
I love this team.
As do I.
Yeah.
I keep betting against them. They no such thing as a bad spot, though. They're laying huge point spreads. They keep covering.
Yeah, busy hour coming up next. We'll get into the NBA card for tonight. Derek Stevens is going to join the program. Books in Vegas and beyond had to get crushed last night, right? With that Monday Night Football result.